And as his determination builds to take another life, he plans in obsessive detail what props he'll bring, what knots he'll tie. Let me ask you guys something. What turns you on?
Welcome once again, my fellow manipulators of digital fate. I'm Richie, this is Capricorn. Early access is over, but the fun's just getting started. We have decks dropping every single day on the channel for the new Wilds of Eldraine standard from early access, and I do think we've thought of some decks that some other people haven't really thought of. I haven't really seen many people really trying to pursue, and I'm excited about it. So make sure you check out the channel and keep tabs on all the decks that are dropping every single day. Before we get to today's deck, I want to give a huge shout out to my patrons over at patreon.com/quarantinedcapricorn. That's Yuck Foozy, Squirrel, Noah Vincent, and Brittany at the Brew Crew Elite tier. And then, of course, Terrence Rohrbach, our CPU savior forever. Thank you guys so much for everything you do for the channel. This deck in particular is called AGauraPHOBIC, and the idea here is an Abzan shell that abuses the new Aura tribal mechanics that are built into Wilds of Eldraine so that we can completely go way over the top with value, and a lot of times we can get wins completely out of nowhere and our opponent doesn't see it coming because of the ramp that we get with the new Archon and with the new Anthem effect. It just gets nutty. Let's just break down the deck in the deck text. You guys can see exactly what I'm talking about. But really quick before we do that, leave me a comment down below and let me know if there's another way you think we could have built Aura Tribal that isn't Abzan maybe, that I didn't really think of, because maybe we'll explore that after the set launches. Also, make sure to like and subscribe, because all of that stuff really does help the channel way more than you know. I know everybody says to do it, and it gets monotonous hearing it over and over, but it really does matter, so please just hit the button right now. There's a button. Just hit it. Help me out. I appreciate you greatly. And catch me live streaming on Twitch Monday through Friday. The launch stream's happening on Tuesday, 12 hours, and I'm stoked for it. Twitch.tv/quarantinecapricorn, because if I'm alive and I'm breathing, I'm there and I'm streaming. Let's check out the deck. Alright, so this deck's pretty wild. This one's called AGauraPHOBIC, and the idea here is to get maximum value off of our auras and just steamroll our opponent as quick as possible, while also maximizing synergies in the mid game. So starting at the bottom of the curve, we've got 4 Slumbering Keepguard. This is just a 1-mana 1/1. Whenever an enchantment enters the battlefield under our control, we get to scry 1. But later in the game, when we're out of gas, every 3 mana that we pump into this guy is going to give him +1/+1 for every enchantment we control. So because this deck is based around auras, if we get to the end game and we're out of gas, this guy can just get really huge all of a sudden, sometimes just win the game outright. We've also got 4 Royal Treatment to protect our board. 1 green mana as an instant, gives a creature hexproof until end of turn, and then we create a Royal Roll token attached to that creature. It counts as an enchantment aura, and it gives that creature +1/+1 and ward 1. So not only do we protect it for sure with the hexproof when we cast the spell, but we get an aura on it, and then we continue to protect it with that extra ward 1 for the rest of the game, which is pretty rad. Moving on, we've got 4 ATaleForTheAges. This is 2 mana, gives all of our creatures that are enchanted +2/+2. Sometimes this can come down out of nowhere when you've got 3 or 4 creatures on the board that have auras and your opponent never sees it coming, and all of a sudden they're just huge and swinging in for an alpha strike and you just win, and it can get kind of nutty. We've also got 4 Spellbook Vendor. I do think this is one of the better cards in the set. It's a little bit like Luminarch Aspirant. It's not as good, but it's pretty close. 2/2 Vigilance for 2, and then at the beginning of combat, you can pay 1 if you want to, and if you do, you create a Sorcerer Roll token attached to target creature you control. So it's going to give that creature +1/+1, and make it so that whenever they attack, you get to scry 1. This is strong. It's better than a +1/+1 counter in a lot of ways, as long as you always have a fresh body to put it on, because you can't stack them like you could +1/+1 counters. But it does take a mana to activate, so it kind of kind of cancels out. But getting an entire other permanent off of this every single turn that you can do things with that count towards things that are caring about how many auras you have or how many enchantments you have or whatever is super powerful. We've also got 4 Spirited Companions because they'll trigger our enchantment synergies and draw us cards. We've got 3 Lord Skitter's Blessing because we don't want to be stuck with too many of these on the field. You don't get to choose whether you draw a card off of this. If you control an enchanted creature, you draw a card and lose a life. So we don't want to get too crazy. We don't have a lot of life gain in here. So just 3 so that we only ever see really 1 hit the field consistently. But also when it comes into play, we do get to put a Wicked Roll token on something, which will give that creature +1/+1. And when the roll goes to the graveyard, we will get to ping them for 1 because it's a Wicked Roll. So it is like kind of the prime target to sacrifice for things if we need to sacrifice things, because it will get a little bit of extra value by hitting them for 1. We've also got 3 copies of the Witch's Vanity to go alongside our 3 copies of Rite of Oblivion as our removal suite of choice. The Witch's Vanity is going to destroy any creature with mana value 2 or less. So early game, it's going to take out something that they're curving out with. It's going to also create a food token and then also create a Wicked Roll token. So even in the late game, if we don't get to kill something valuable with this, it's a ton of sacrifice fodder for the deck that we can use in a lot of different ways. And Rite of Oblivion can actually sacrifice it if we need to, or some of the tokens that it makes to take out whatever we need to, and then flash back to get a little bit of extra value. We've also got 4 Calix, which is kind of the backbone of this deck. The idea here is by the time Calix comes down, we've got multiple creatures with roll auras on them, and they count as enchanted creatures. So we slam a Calix, we swing in with those creatures, and now we get to copy something. We get so much value off the Calix that even if they kill him, it's not really that big of a deal. And then we've got 1 Eriette of the Charmed Apple. 3 mana in Orzhov for a 2/4. It is legendary. Each creature that's enchanted by an aura you control can't attack you or planeswalkers you control, which doesn't come up very often, but it is a nice little bonus upside. The main reason we play her is sometimes she just wins the game outright if we get our opponent close to dead. At the beginning of your end step, each opponent loses X life, and you gain X life, where X is the number of auras you control. So sometimes she can just drain 2 or 3 turns in a row and just close out the game if you're kind of in a stalemate. And then topping off the curve, we've got 3 Archon of the Wild Rose, because it's a really good on-rate creature anyway as a 4/4 flyer for 4. But if it comes down on a board full of creatures that have auras attached to them, these roll tokens attached to them, all of them get base power and toughness 4/4 and gain flying. So they're going to be 4/4 flyers that then also whatever their rolls are giving is buffing them even higher than that. And sometimes if they get counters on them or whatever, they could get even higher. Slumbering Keepguard can get even higher by activating its ability multiple times. It can get really insane. An Archon of the Wild Rose alongside ATaleForTheAges with just 2 or 3 enchanted creatures, most of the time just spells doom for the opponent. We've got some manlands in the mana base. They're new. We got Restless Fortress, which makes black or white. You can pay 4 to turn it into a 1/4, and when it attacks, you get to drain for 2. So sometimes that's helpful in eking out that war of attrition against our opponent if we have to race them. We've also got 1 Restless Cottage, which is the Golgari version. 4 mana to activate it to turn it into a 4/4 though, so much bigger. And when it swings, it'll make a food token. And this is one way for us to gain back some of that life we lose to Lord Skitter's Blessing. So it's nice to be able to do that, but also it gives us that food token to sacrifice to things if we need to do that as well. So we also get to, a little bit upside, exile something from a graveyard, and sometimes that can really matter. The rest of it's a bunch of dual lands that get us there. The list is down below, so check it out if you want the full breakdown, but the deck is gnarly. I absolutely loved it. I think there is another version of this hidden in here somewhere that we can dig into and find. But as far as the beginning of this season, trying to put together something like this, the power of having Calix, ATaleForTheAges, Archon of the Wild Rose, all these powerful cards together all at the same time, it's just, if it goes off, it's just kind of nutty. So it does go off. It was kind of nutty during early access. Let's check out the games. Oh, the coffee. Have you ever seen a cup of coffee? Have you ever in your life drank a cup of coffee? We're keeping it. Sanctum's coming down. I think we play the companion first because, let's be honest, the vendor's just gonna die. Oh, maybe we're gonna need 4 mana to kill that thing. Come on, land. Give me land. He's just holding the counterspell. He is just holding a counterspell. Counter it. Do it. Do it now. Do it.
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
He did no such thing. Well, I think we have the tempo to win now. We'll see. Because if he kills our thing, then he can't counter our thing. If he counters our thing, he can't kill our thing. We will scry, preferably into a land. There you are. Well, there's no way to kill. We can do that. And then next turn we can do all sorts of craziness. What you got for me? Fairy fencing. Brave Fencer Musashi. Alright, we start with this. Because if he counters it, we can just do something else. Goodbye. Man, that ward 2 is something. It's not gonna untap, dude. It's not gonna untap. Duress. Hit the witch's vanity. We could Archon and then swing for 5. I think it's better to Tale of Ages swing for 4. Now, our other Spirited Companion is going to get a Wicked roll next turn. And we can just slam the Archon, and he might be out of counter spells. Or, I mean, either way, we're going to hold up the Royal Treatment. I don't know what would be better, the Archon or Calix. I guess it depends on if he swings. That's pretty good. is pretty good. He is tapped out, and that makes me happy. And we hold up Royal Treatment, and the turn. I think we got this one, guys. By the skin of our teeth, but we got it. Daddy says no. Do you have another piece? Do you has more removal? No, you don't. Likeness Looter. Rough spot to be in. Target a creature. That's fine. We still get you to 1. And we get to copy. What do we copy? I guess Spirited Companion, so we can draw a card. I'll take it. Our board's pretty rough, though. Italian coming in. Got that win. We got that win, boys. That's a lot of restlessness. I actually think we can keep it though, because we're on the play and we've got 1-drops. Grand Ball Guest. Does some +1/+1 trample shenanigans. Well, I guess we just want to do this, right? Another Restless Fortress? God, no. What are you doing to me, deck? Swing 1. Should be in a pretty good position next turn, though. Blade Hold War Whip. Sack the food. Get rid of your boy. Swing. Now, if we have to use the Royal Treatment to keep our Keep Guard alive, we will, but otherwise we're going to wait and just get the Wicked Roll token. So that we don't waste it. Slumbering Keepguard. Sure. Actually, maybe we don't need that Slumbering Keepguard. Let's find something stronger. Like that. Lots of triggers. Smash. End the turn. Still hold up royal treatment just in case. What's cool about the wicked roll is if we do have to use royal treatment and that wicked roll dies, we'll at least ping them for one, which is nice. Nice celebration animation. Good lord. Kellen. The adventure side of Kellen. Interesting. Interesting. Swing in with Godric, sure. Oh, that's strong. But I'm a little bit worried about the crackback. Screw it. Smash. Thing is so expensive to re-equip. It's the one saving grace. And we gotcha. We gotcha. I will keep this. Start with a Restless Fortress, pass the turn. We will hide our green for now. You know what? I'm not even going to play the Spellbook Vendor. We're going to wait until we can hold up royal treatment. Because he's gonna have removal. He's just gonna. Well. Yeah, pass turn. Decline. Decline. Up the beanstalk. Another one. Good grief. We'll do this. Take out this one. We'll move to combat. We'll auto pay 1. And swing 3. Yes, we will absolutely take the card draw. And schmack. And the turn, hold up royal treatment. I think we're good. We're also going to get a food token here for the Rite of Oblivion, which would be nice. Virtue of Strength. Coming in hard. But you don't have a lot of basics, so that's a little weird. Very strange indeed. I would really like another creature. I'm going to start by swinging. We'll keep Eriette. Do I kill a fawn to keep him from getting things out quick? I think I probably do. And we'll take a chance. I really don't think he's got removal in Simic, so I don't think the royal treatment is necessary just yet. It might be eventually for, like, Eriette. But I think we're okay for now. No attack, we'll just drain 2. Alright, do you have removal, sir? You have 5 mana. Five manners. Elusive Otta. Sure. Give me another card, thank you. Oh, that's been good. Decline. Decline specifically because I want to hold up royal treatment. Alright, here, block there. We'll get through for 6, then we'll drain for 2. We will make a copy of... I mean, there's a lot of good stuff here. Seems pretty good to me. The Lord Skitter's Blessing gives us another rule to put on the Calix, which means we get double triggers for counters off of Calix. And then we've also got 3 things with auras on them to trigger Eriette. Which is kind of insane. Yeah, that'll do it. Hi. Oh God, dude. Wild. Wild. Look at this. Look at this craziness. Craziness. I will take it. Do it. Do it, old maid. Scry. Yes, I would like more Witch's Vanity, because killing your creatures and gaining 3 life in 1 card is what's going to do a deck like this in. Okie dokie. I get it. I understand. DOS, which is Vanity. Again. Yeah, we'll keep that. And play you. And no attacks. We'll make sure even if you have a shock, one of these guys can still block the cheeky house mouse and kill it. And the other one's gonna get the Wicked Roll token. Actually, it's probably better not to block it. Yeah, I think this turn's gonna be insane. No blocks. We need land, but not pain land. That's not what we're looking for. Again, Painland. That'll help. That will definitely help. Do we save it as a blocker, though? I think we do. Yeah, we're gonna have to save it as a blocker. We'll hold up Royal Treatment to protect our dude. Sure. I think we... If we take too much damage, we're not going to be able to draw with Lord Skitter's Blessing. I think that's a problem. We do have food, though. So I think we just eat their dudes, go to 2. Hope he doesn't have a shock. Wicked Roll token drops off. Pings for a point. Sure. we'd go to 1, and then we'd go to 3. And that's probably fine. Oh, Eriette. Oh, Eriette. Well, I think we're okay. You know what? Actually, let's get rid of that. No attacks. We'll just drain 3, go up to 5. Freaking Eriette. Hey, we got there. Good lord. We'll try this. That doesn't mean you need to lie to people. I don't lie to people. But I'm also gonna, you know, edit it. That's what editing's for. Cut the shaft, cut the stuff that's not worth showing. I mean, I can show you. How do I want to do this? I think I just want 2 keep guards. He must have a cut down. He's thinking long and hard about what he's doing. And he's asking himself, do I bother to cut down one of these guys? Are they worthy of a cut down? And he thinks no. But he is sorely mistaken. Hi. You know what it is, Isaac? You get a peek behind the curtain of an actually tragic life. Because my life has been somewhat tragic. And I'm trying really hard to put it all behind me. And I see this as my path to do that. So when it starts to not work out, you can tell there's something beneath the surface that's a lot more wrong than just losing at a game. That's why it upsets you. It upsets me too. I mean, there's a reason that I screamed in bands for 20 years. Because that shit needs to go somewhere. You need to get Catharsis somehow. You need to get it out of your system. Let's see. Do you have a counterspell, sir? See, this puts him in a really difficult position, because if he has a pay to or it's counter spell, he can't really use it. I mean, I'd rather do that, I think. I could have just let it get countered and then played something else like Lord Skitter's Blessing. If he doesn't counter it, then I have the mana left over to trigger the Vendor and turn my Keepguard into a 4/4 and swing with it. And he can't really respond to that with removal. I mean, he could, but I would still get the trigger. And if he removes it before the trigger, then I just spend the 2 mana on one of the other cards in my hand. Counterspell? We'll put it on the Keepguard, so he has to make a careful decision about, does he stop me from getting the aura, or does he kill the better creature, the Vendor? No matter what he does, he's kind of in a pickle. Because now we just go like this. Swing for 5. We'll absolutely keep the Spirited Companion because we need to refill our hand, so drawing another card while putting a creature on the table that Spellbook Vendor can put a roll onto is going to be pretty good. If he kills the Spellbook Vendor, we probably just start swinging in with the Fortress. Drain for 2 and hit for an extra 1 every turn. 4-turn clock. Draw a card. Oof. So if he did want to kill the Vendor, he missed his window. Alright, we'll swing here. Is our opponent going to deal with it? Do you have a Flash Boy? No, but you do have that. Yeah, we'll keep Eriette. Replay the Vendor. That seems fine. So now if he does have removal, he's got a hard choice here. If he kills the Companion, I don't get to draw a card. But he doesn't get to kill the Vendor. If he kills the Vendor, I'll get to draw a card. and then I'll be up. Is there a reason to mill cards in this deck? Likeness Looter, Dream Thief. Does look like there's some value in milling. Honestly, not a terrible card. So what do we want? Eriette or the Archon? I think we want the Archon. And then he has to block. Oh my god. Yeah, we'll keep Calix, thanks. Oh, Archon of the Wild Rose. Thing is crazy. Thanks so much for checking out my channel. I'd like to give a huge shout out to all of my patrons over at Patreon. Without you guys, this channel would not be possible, so honestly, thank you from the bottom of my heart for all of your contributions. If you haven't yet, like and subscribe. The more likes we get and the quicker we get them, the bigger this channel will grow and the faster it will grow. I'd love nothing more than this channel to become something very special for you guys, but it's entirely up to you how fast that happens. Also, if you'd like more deck text, that's somewhere over there. And if you'd like to see what else the channel's been up to lately, that's somewhere up that way. Also, subscribe, circle below, do all the things.